Welcome to today's story, a journey filled with emotions where secrets slowly unfold and the truth keeps you hooked until the very end. I never anticipated that my life would undergo such an unforeseen transformation. My name is Emily. I am 38 years old and married to Michael, a prosperous entrepreneur. His work has consistently been his foremost priority. His days are dominated by incessant travel, meetings, and a persistent reliance on his phone and computer screens for years. I bolstered his profession, acknowledging the gravity of his obligations. Nonetheless, each time he departed the house or immersed himself in work, I experienced an undeniable sense of emptiness. Nathan, our son, is 20 years of age. He has consistently pursued autonomy, desiring to forge his own course. After 2 years at university, he opted to abandon his studies and concentrate on employment, despite our financial stability, which could readily sustain him. He accepted employment at a nearby market. He labored assiduously and frequently returned for lunch that July. The heat was suffocating, enveloping everything in a constricting grip. The warmth permeated every fissure and opening, disrupting the tranquility of each area on a typical morning. Michael departed early for a day filled with obligations as the door clicked shut behind him. The house's silence was suffocating. Its expanse appeared to magnify the isolation. Nathan was at the market and would not return until noon. As per usual, the scorching sun emitted its unyielding rays, saturating the terrace with oppressive heat while seated by the window. I gazed outward, engulfed in a fog of sorrow. Distant footsteps reverberated, heralding Nathan's arrival. He entered perspiring, his shirt adhering to his body. "It's unbearable outside, Mom," he remarked, depositing a bag of snacks on the table. Observing my son, I experienced a complex amalgamation of emotions that eluded precise identification. He approached their refrigerator, retrieved a chilled bottle of water, and settled into an antique wooden chair. The house resumed, its customary silence interrupted solely by the whirring ceiling fan and the gentle drip of condensation from the bottle. We sat in silence, each absorbed in our own reflections as the oppressive heat intensified that stifling afternoon. I resolved to take a shower to alleviate the agony. As I neared the bathroom, the sound of running water reached my ears, prompting me to take a few more steps. I observed the door ajar, a faint light seeping through the gap. My gaze then fell upon Nathan, oblivious to my presence beneath the cascade of water. Despite being his mother, the sight before me elicited an uncontrollable racing of my heart, a tumultuous surge of conflicting emotions, overwhelming me like an unstoppable wave. Nathan stood unaware beneath the shower while I remained paralyzed, observing a scene I should not have witnessed. The heat that engulfed me was not merely from the summer, but rather something far more profound and enigmatic. My thoughts were tumultuous, and the need to escape was nearly overwhelming. I stepped back, inadvertently collided with a squeegee resting against the wall. It descended to the floor with a resounding clap, disturbing the tranquility. I was seized by panic as the sound reverberated. I hurried out, nearly sprinting to the living room. My hands quivered and my respiration was shallow. I attempted to compose myself while seated on the couch. Despite the house's silence, my mind was a tumult of thoughts and disjointed images. The incessant echo of the squeegee fall reverberated in my mind, instilling a dread that Nathan could harbor suspicions nonetheless. The absence of sound from the bathroom invited fleeting solace. I inhaled deeply. My thoughts continually reverted to that moment. A previously concealed aspect of my being was abruptly revealed, overcome by humiliation and guilt. It reversed the corridor, striving to expunge the persistent pictures. "Mother, did you perceive any sound?" Nathan's voice disrupted the silence. Surprising me, his tone was nonchalant, oblivious to me. Internal distress indeed. I responded, my voice wavering. I inadvertently toppled the squeegee. I compelled a smile, attempting to conceal my discomfort. Nathan shrugged nonchalantly and proceeded to his room, shutting the door. Behind him, the place became quiet again. However, my heart persisted. Restless, the oppressive heat and persistent recollections ensnared me in thoughts I knew I ought not to indulge. Once more seated, I placed my head in my hands, attempting to restore my composure. "Emily, what is occurring with you?" I felt overwhelmed by a blend of terror and remorse. Despite my efforts, something within me had changed and I could no longer perceive Nathan. In the same manner, the day prolonged and the morning's occurrences recurred in my thoughts. The subsequent day commenced. As any other, Michael occupied the breakfast table, absorbed in his phone, addressing emails and messages, unaware of the turmoil within. Me, I arranged the table, quietly maintaining a composed facade, despite the increasing sorrow within me, as Michael declared yet another work trip, this one extending for a week. The old void re-emerged despite my acclimatization to his hectic agenda. His absences consistently cast a PA of alone rest. Assured I will manage all domestic affairs, Michael said with a swift smile. Prior to departing, the sound of the door closing echoed throughout the home, resulting in a palpable silence. Nathan absently stirred his coffee across the table, his weary, profound eyes seeking something unarticulated. Mother, I am taking a week off from the market shawl. We embark on a trip, just the two of us. It has been quite some time since we engaged in an activity together. His voice conveyed a mixture of hope and yearning. I grinned nostalgically while shaking my head. Your father is exceedingly occupied and will be absent this week. Nathan's eyes momentarily dulled, and he squeezed his lips together, suppressing words before he commenced. Cleaning the table. I saw his desire for familial connection unimpeded by work and distance subsequent to breakfast. Only the two of us occupied the living room. A gentle breeze entered through the slightly open window, providing some respite from the heat, while sunshine streamed through the drapes, creating patterns on the carpet. Mother, Nathan stated, I have much to convey, his voice resonating with a depth and maturity I did not recall. I am here to listen, I responded with an encouraging smile. He commenced recounting anecdotes from the market, entertaining clients with unforeseen circumstances that elicited laughter. From him I listened attentively, sensing that we were restoring a connection we'd lost over time. His eyes illuminated as he recounted cherished events, and my heart swelled with happiness. Time appeared to elapse while we conversed, the gap between us diminishing. You have matured now, I commented. Have you considered pursuing a romantic relationship? He chuckled, his eyes glinting with mischief. The females in the area consistently gaze at me as I pass, he responded, still chuckling, the room resonating with authentic laughter, and for an instant it seemed as though the barriers between us had completely dissipated. Mother, let us proceed. Gradually he remarked, his tone embodying both sincerity and levity. We reflected on familial picnics and whimsical childhood experiences. Hours elapsed and the midday sun streamed through the window, illuminating the room with its warmth. My heart felt alleviated, as though the intangible void between us had been infused with comprehension and warmth. A tranquil calm enveloped us, yet the ambience was more inviting and intimate than previously. Nathan then gazed at me and posed a question that surprised me. Mother, did you observe me in the shower yesterday? His voice was composed yet tranquil, reverberating in the silent room. My heart raced and my face flushed at the inquiry. My tongue became parched, rendering me voiceless. Nathan's gaze remained unwavering, embodying patience as he anticipated my reply. He continued without allowing me the time to comprehend his words, stating, I observed you watching me yesterday. I feigned ignorance of his admission, which elicited a surge of embarrassment and anxiety within me. My mind whirled uncontrollably. Nathan had been aware, yet he remained silent. Until this moment I attempted to articulate, but the words became lodged in my throat, or gazes intersected and unarticulated. Tension permeated the room as I was preparing to reply. Nathan interrupted the silence. Mother, I love you, he articulated, his tone kind yet resolute, not in the capacity of a son, but as an individual who cherishes another. His revelation astonished me. My heart, inundated with a tumult of emotions, astonishment, apprehension, and an indescribable feeling. Time seems to suspend as his steadfast stare met mine. I was rendered speechless, enveloped in the gravity of his revelation. Are you earnest? I inquired, my voice scarcely audible. Nathan did not respond immediately. Rather, he grasped my hand, his touch warm and firm, and then unexpectedly he enveloped me in a tight embrace. At that instant all my concerns appeared to dissipate. supplanted by an ineffable bond. The subsequent events altered everything. Transgressions of previously established boundaries occurred, leading us to a state of disarray, overwhelmed by forces beyond our control. The house, formerly a sanctuary of silence, transformed into a tempest of emotions. During Michael's absences, our illicit relationship was irresistible. But secrets of this nature cannot remain concealed indefinitely. One day Michael returned home sooner than anticipated. The sound of his automobile in the driveway and the key turning in the lock created a surge of panic throughout the house. Nathan and I scarcely had time to retort when Michael appeared, his gaze surveying the room with skepticism. The atmosphere was laden with tension, and I recognized that this could not persist. That evening, beneath the little illumination of the balcony, I conversed with Nathan. "We cannot continue in this manner," I said, my voice quivering. "I love you as my son, and it is the only affection we can exchange." Nathan remained mute, his eyes directed to the ground. Sorrow obscured his features. As she eventually nodded, his shoulders drooping. The significance of our decision was huge. Our romance concluded discreetly, however the anguish persisted in our hearts. Michael never ascertained the truth. I prioritized my family. Endeavoring to mend relationships and restore trust, Nathan separated himself, pursuing a fresh beginning and equilibrium. Throughout that period, I saw how solitude and a desire for affection may prompt us to err, and it encapsulates my narrative. Please share your opinions in the comments if you appreciated this narrative. Please remember to like the video and subscribe to Cheater's Confessions. Activate the notification bell to ensure you do not miss our forthcoming stories. Farewell.